awakening the Italians with AC Milan. Join you back, it's the 7th of February 2016. We've got a live commentary at home to Torino in today's episode. In between then and now, though, we've had the whole of January to look back on, which has actually been a fair amount of fixtures since the last game, which was the disappointing 0-0 draw against Cagliari. So we've got a lot to look through there. I'm going to take you through the transfers first, though, because there was a little bit of action, and I better show you that before we get into anything else. So on the outs, there was a fair few more outs than ins. There were a fair few guys going out on loans, but the big one was Jeremy Menez has left the club to Dynamo Moscow for 5 million. He just didn't feature this year like he did feature last year, but was extremely disappointing on many an occasion last year. And then this year he just failed to find a place in the team, and he is left to the Russian First Division, Russian Premier Division, to play for Dynamo Moscow. Now, he might be quite good there, but he wasn't cutting it at all at the Serie A level, and that's why we got rid of him. And for 5 million, I thought we did a decent deal. And coming in, kind of not really in placement of him, but because we were struggling for goals. Like, you look at nearly all our strikers, all of them are very young, but all of them are very inconsistent, and none of them are actually kind of really battling down a good goal scoring record yet. So we brought in an experienced striker, Lucas Podolski, on loan, and there's actually a little bit of irony to this, because of course he's gone to Inter Milan on loan. I think it's on loan. It's either on loan or on a permanent in real life in the January transfer window. And we've brought him in here. He's got 20 finishing, 18 composure, 11 off the ball. Well, that's gone down because of his age. We're only paying, I think, 30% of his wage, and he's just going to be a rotation option. And as you can see, he's played 3 games, 1 goal, 1 assist, 6.57 rating. Like, he's not going to do too much, but he's just going to help the team out and hopefully give a little bit of experience for some of those younger strikers to thrive off. So I suppose we should go into the fixtures then since last time, and it's been a much mixed bag after that 0-0 draw away at Cagliari, because we then we didn't travel, we were at home to Pescara, and from what I can see, people who thought that Chelsea-Bradford game was a once-off is incorrect, because we lost Pescara, who are 21st in the Serie B. Second last. Looking down the barrel at being relegated from Serie B. Now, they are a fairly reputable team, Pescara, but I just don't know how. Like, their estimated value is only 440 grand, and we lost to them 4-3 in extra time. I don't know how this happened. We took the lead through Samuel Umtiti in the 32nd minute, through a flick-on header. Riccardo Maniero, who just was a constant thorn in our side, equalised in the 36th minute. But then Umtiti scored again, this time with a little close-range finish in the 58th minute, and Kazuki Honda in the 67th minute made it 3-1, and I was thinking, happy days, we're going to get through to the next round. And we've got a little 2-goal cushion to boot. But I was to be wrong. Riccardo Maniero made it 3-2 in the 71st minute through a cock-up from Diego Lopez, and scored again in the 80th minute to bring it extra time. And then that's where it all went wrong. Federico Viviani stepping up from the penalty spot in the 107th minute after Jeremy Menez had fouled. I think it was Maniero again. This really kind of spelt the end of the road for Menez, I suppose. But that was it. And we lost 4-3. Now, you look at the match stats. They had 4 clear-cut chances to our 2. We did have 8 half chances, their 0. But they took their chances better. They only had 8 shots, but all 8 were on target. So they kind of conserved their shots wisely and took them when they could. So I'm not going to complain too much. It was just an awful effort. This is the thing, though, that is worrying me slightly. Like, this is a cup game, so it was again slightly rotated squad, a bit like the games for the Europa League, where it was only slightly rotated, but we seem to be so poor. We just don't seem to have the same flair whatsoever. And that's a really disappointing knockout of the Italian Cup. Then we travelled to Bologna, where we drew 1-1. And this was again a disappointing result in the circumstances, considering Ricardo Zivkovic did give us the lead with a fairly rare goal from him, only I think his 6th of the season in the 5th minute. But then after that, it was just all Bologna, really. Like, I know the basic match stats would indicate that we had the better of the game, 21 shots to 9, 55% of the ball. Ezekiel equalised for them in the 45th minute. But again, look at clear-cut chances, 4-1. And this is what I'm getting a little bit frustrated with this tactic at the moment, is we seem to be having plenty of the ball, but we're not actually creating the same clear-cut chances that all the rest of the teams are. And like, these are small teams, and they're creating 4 to 5 clear-cut chances against us in 90 minutes, which, like, it was the same in the Cagliari game. Like, they had 3 or 4 clear-cut chances in that game, we had 0. So it's a slightly disappointing, and it's slightly concerning, I'd say, when you think about it. Anyway, we move on. We did get a point at least, which was something. And then we played at home to Lazio, where we finally managed to return to winning ways. Now, I say finally, I think it was only 3 games without a win, but it kind of felt like ages, considering how good we have been recently. And we won 2-1, which was happy days all around. Lucas Podolski, on debut this was, knocked up in the 15th minute before Giacomo Bonaventura finally got his 11th goal this season. He's been on 10 for so long. He was on 10 since possibly early October or something. Like, he had such a good start to the season, but then completely went off the boil in terms of scoring. But he finally got back to scoring ways here in the 26th minute. Alberto Pelosi did bring one back for Lazio in the 69th minute, but it just wasn't enough, and we managed to scrape through the 2-1 win. A little bit more comprehensive, 63% of the ball, 21 shots to 6, 3 clear-cut chances to 2 and 2 half chances to 1. So overall we did play the better game, and we did manage to come out on top. As you can see, Podolski went off after 61 minutes. You'll see in the next few games that's a bit of a trend. Podolski starts, kind of plays around an hour, and then Zivkovic comes on. That seems to be kind of how it's panning out at the moment. We then travelled to Genoa, where we managed to win 2-1 as well. A very good win, this one. Because Genoa's a tough place to go, and as you can see, it was a hard-fought victory. But it's great to see the return to form of the man himself, Giacomo Bonaventura. They took the lead, actually, in this game in the 25th minute through Giuseppe De Luca. But Bonaventura equalised immediately in the 26th minute before bagging another one in the 44th minute to give us a 2-1 lead at half-time. We managed to scrap our way to the victory in the second half. As you can see, it was very even, you know. We had a lot more of the ball, 59% of it, but 10 shots to 9. They had 2 clear-cut chances to our 1, but we had 1 half chance to their 0. It was scrappy, it was tight, but we managed to just come out on top, which I was very pleased with, because it's a tough place to go, Genoa, and it was a good win to keep up a little bit of form. And then we played at home to Napoli, where we drew 1-1. Now, this wasn't the worst result, even though Napoli have been underperforming this year and find themselves in 7th. They have booked themselves up a little bit. But we conceded very early on through Christian Maggio, which was really disappointing. Kind of took the wind out of our sails quite early on, because it was a poor goal to concede as well. Angelo Enriquez actually did equalise. It was a bit of a lucky goal for him, but he did manage to score in the 20th minute, ending a fairly big goal drought for him to make it 1-1. And it was kind of quite evenly poised for the rest of the game. Nigel de Jong did get sent off, his 3rd sending off, I think, of the season. Yeah, 3rd sending off of the season, which is getting a little bit on my tits, to be honest, because, like, I know this one was only with 15 minutes to go or something, but we can't cope with games where we're just down to 10 men, you know. You can't be doing that. You gotta think of the team first before you go in and make those sort of tackles, and he doesn't really seem to get that registered inside his head. Another game that was 59% of the ball for us, 16 shots to 15, but they created 5 clear-cut chances to our 2. 1 half chance each. As you can see, the average rating for both sides was 6.72 for us, 6.75 for them. So it was extremely even, and probably a 1-1 draw was justified. So we've gone on a niche little 4-game unbeaten run, 2 wins, 2 draws, and find ourselves in second place. Now we actually could hop up to fourth, or up to first after today's game, because despite it saying that us and Juventus have the same amount of games played, which is true, they played yesterday because they still have a game in hand. So they went ahead of us. So if we win today, we'll be 2 ahead of them, and they'll have a game in hand. As you can see, they've still only conceded 9 goals, and actually 3 of them have come from Perugia, who completed a superb double over them. 2 wins for Perugia, as you can see there, 1-0 and 2-1. Sampdoria, the only other team to beat them as well. The only 4 draws, one of them was us, Empoli, Sassuolo and Cesena. So they keep on kind of slipping up against what you'd think were the more basic teams. But anyway, we've got to try and win today against Torino, who are down in the relegation scrap, 17th place. As you can see, Barry, it's just not happening for them. They've got on another 4 points since the last episode, but they're still only on 8 after 23 games and 15 points from safety. I think the dream might be over for them. If we have a look at our overall player stats, the top goal scorer with 13 is Giacomo Bonaventura. Zivkovic has hopped up into second with 6 alongside Niang. Alex has 5 as per usual. Umtiti has 5. He's out injured today. He was out injured for 5 to 6 weeks in a game 1 or 2 weeks ago. I don't think it was the last game, or was it? I don't know. It was either the Napoli game or the Genoa game. Anyway, he's been quite good. Enriquez has got 4. Providing Bonaventura is 12, Enriquez 7, Desciglio 5. Average rating. We won't count Saponara and Ager, so it's Bonaventura, Desciglio, Umtiti, Yarmolenko and Abate. All up there. And Nigel de Jong's up there despite his permanent yellow and red card he seems to get. Anyway, I think we'll get into today's game now. Here at the San Siro. It looks like they're going to operate quite defensively today. We've got Lopez and goal, back 5, Yarmolenko, Marlon, Alex, Manoz and Desciglio. Neustoider and Polly in midfield. Actually, we're going to change that around and bring in Kazuki Honda for Polly. Bonaventura playing behind Enriquez, and Zivkovic gets the start today instead of Podolski, who's taking a bit of a breather, might come on. We might kind of swap do a bit of a role reversal today and have Zivkovic play for the first 60 minutes and then bring on Podolski. As you can see, they've got quite a defence formation, 4-4-2, but with 2 defensive midfielders and a few limited defenders in there I saw, and fullbacks, so they're not coming here to, I don't think, blow us off the park. But it is always tricky playing against those sort of formations because you have to crack them down. You're not given the kind of space that I suppose you'd really want going into the game. Anyway, get this game underway. And it is 10 minutes in, nothing to speak of so far. Half chance for ourselves, but that has been it. As you can see, Andrei Yarmolenko is now the new club captain. I forgot to show you the guys this. Montalivo has been replaced, and Montalivo will leave in the summer if I can get him to leave. I didn't realise that actually he hasn't been that big a servant for them. Well, 4 years at the club. I thought he was this real long serving one. Don't know why, but I thought I had it in my head that he was kind of a long serving player, and that's why I was reluctant to let him go. But when I saw he was only there for 4 years, I thought, well, we can get rid of him. And I was trying to get rid of him in January, but nobody. We had a deal actually, I think, with Lazio for him to take. Well, firstly we'll try to get through this. Joe Lobby, Enriquez does well. They kind of shut him out there, but they've got the ball again. Ghazi, Ademi, who I think got sent off in the return fixture earlier this year. Muriel. Can he find a man? He finds Moreno out to Joe Lobby. Muriel, good save by Diego Lopez. And Torino get the first clear-cut chance of the game. But as I was saying, well, I think we had a deal with Lazio. Lazio confirmed, and it looked like it was going to go through, but then it just didn't make it in time. It was on deadline day, and they just couldn't get the paperwork done in on time. Here's Muriel, Neuscheuer with a great tackle. Honda now, can we build? No, that's a terrible pass. Oh God, how did he miss that? So they've had 3 clear-cut chances within the first 23 minutes, and we're hanging on to our 0-0 at the moment. 30 minutes in, our passing has been less than impressive today. Even though we have had 53% of the ball, whenever we get a highlight, we seem to lose it. Zivkovic now. Oh, it's the post. I think that's a bit unlucky for Zivkovic hitting the woodwork there. So it's been. We've both hit the woodwork once. They've had 3 clear-cut chances to our 0. We've had 3 half chances to their 1. So again, it's following the same sort of trend that a lot of our previous games have followed, where we're dominating everything apart from the clear-cut chances. But the clear-cut chances are usually the chances that do get you goals. And Muriel has scored this time. Their 4th clear-cut chance, right on the stroke of half-time, has snuck in from Luis Muriel. Diogo Lopez with an appalling piece of keeping there. And we will be 1-0 down going into the break here at the San Siro. God, this is an awful piece of keeping. Let's have a look. Is it as bad as it seems? Oh God, it certainly is. And it is 1-0. And this has really been the trend. Like you look at it now, and I'm almost glad it's kind of happened, because at least you guys are then witnessing it firsthand. What has been happening. And actually, to be honest, I'm sick of Zivkovic already. So I'm going to bring on Podolski for the second half. He might give us something a little bit extra up front, a little bit more experience, a little bit more nous in front of goal. Let's demand more. It's not really happening, and what seems to happen is when we go attacking or overload, we then just lose our possession, and it becomes more and more of a rout for the opposition. Well, that's certainly what's happened in some of the games we've lost, like against Atalanta, and even fuck off, Marlon. And it is going to be another game where we're reduced to 10 men. Our discipline really has been shocking this year. I have to say, it's one of the few things that has been awful all year round, and we're just gonna leave it like that because we've no real room. We can't shut up shop or anything because we need goals. Well, that really hasn't helped us. Half an hour still to go, and we're now down to 10, needing 2 goals to win the game. And they're now wasting time already. Like, come on, you'd think. Oh no. God, that's again terrible keeping from Diego Lopez. I don't understand that one. It seems to always happen. Is this one where it's a free kick, they save it, and they just don't get up from their initial save. Like there's just 0 reactions from them. And it's still going on, this highlight. That one there was their 5th clear-cut chance. Alex gets this one away. Now, is this going to result in anything, or are they just going to give me hope for it to be crushed? Bonaventura Enriquez now. Out to Desciglio. That was a nice little ball. Desciglio now barging down the line. That's a good ball in. Podolski. Our first clear-cut chance is well blocked. And well, at least we created something. Suppose we couldn't convert it though. Podolski couldn't find the way through. Honda. Maybe still a chance now. Headed away. Desciglio. Oh, Enriquez. Honda. No. He's offside, is Enriquez. Here's Manaz now. We're in a dangerous position here. Yarmolenko. Swing a good one in. A penalty. That's a lucky break. And Andriy Yarmolenko stepping up, not Alex. Oh, that is Interesting. Hopefully it's not a Kevin Morales situation. It certainly isn't. Yarmolenko tucks it away easily. Straight down the middle. The Torino keeper goes to his right, but Yarmolenko, no fear, just dinks it down the middle. And well, not dinks it, just slams it down the middle. And we're one apiece. But it's quite disheartening to think that really the only way we're going to score against these losers is to get a penalty, to get what seemed like a controversial penalty. It didn't. Like, I think it was a foul, but it didn't even look like it was in the box. Anyway, here's Podolski. Oh, can Yarmolenko sneak that? He certainly can. Podolski! Oh! God, that would have been awesome. That would have been an excellent goal, but Podolski hits the crossbar. I think it was the bottom half of the crossbar. Anyway, it's rebounded back out, but we're starting to play well. And here's Podolski again. Yes, this time he doesn't miss. And this time it counts. And we are 2-up. And we have turned it around here at home to Torino. We really turned it on. Since actually the sending off, we've been much better. Honda with a lovely ball through. That's a picturesque ball through. And Podolski, he's missed actually a few clear-cut chances today, but he wasn't going to miss this one. Straight through on goal. You can't keep giving Podolski opportunities because he will eventually take one and put you to the sword. Anyway, it's 2-1 now. We still got to be careful though in this game. But this will be a lovely goal to get, and we're going to get a Bonaventura has sealed the point, or hopefully sealed the points, because that's exactly what I said when we got a 2-goal cushion against Pescara. But hopefully he sealed the point. It's a long ball over. Enriquez kind of gets the central defender out of the way, and Bonaventura just sneaks in before the keeper to get himself his 14th of the season. And it's 3-1. And I think that will go down as an assist for Diego Lopez. So good for him. And it looks like after what was a very dodgy first half, and even first 15 minutes of the second half, we've really turned it on since the sending off half an hour before the end, on the hour mark. We've really turned it on since. Kazuki Honda will get the man of the match with an 8.4 rating. Also good performances from Bonaventura. Podolski came on, got his goal, 7.3 rating. Like, he doesn't, as I said before, he doesn't do anything else, but he does manage to get goals. And we managed to get through that game. It was a bit of a banana skin fixture, as Torino proved it to be. So I hold my hands up. They played a very good game for a long time, but they just cracked when we were starting to excel. That penalty was kind of the start of it all from Yarmolenko, and then Podolski and Bonaventura also on the score sheet. The next live commentary, our next episode even, will be away at Parma, 6th of March. So hopefully that will be a goodie. We're getting to the business end of the season. Like, we'll have a look at the league one more time now after that game. So we've gone ahead of Juventus, but they've got that game in hand. We're 2 points ahead of them with 20. We've played 24, they've played 23. Now, there's only 38 games in the season, so there's only 14 games left for us to play. We are 10 points ahead of third place Fiorentina, they have a game in hand, and 11 points ahead of fourth place Roma, but they have a game in hand, and 12 points ahead of fifth place Inter, but they also have a game in hand. But we're in a good position at the moment to definitely get Champions League. If not, like, we really should be pushing to try and at least give Juventus a run for the title. I'm not expecting to win the title this year. It would be a brilliant shock if we were able to. But I'd just like to see us run Juventus close. But Juventus will need to drop points at some stage for that to happen. Anyway guys, if you enjoyed this video, please do give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you already haven't. I'll see you guys later.